Hey guys, welcome back, and this is game 3 for Brawlers Bash, and of course I got my Skaven, and we're going to get against some Warriors of Chaos. This is the third time I played Warriors of Chaos this weekend. I did my practice game with Tuna Sandwichify, and then game 1 was against Warriors, and now game 3 is against Warriors, so we'll see how it goes. So I was kind of saving this card for a general that might have been easier to kill, but you know what, after the Lord the first game, which I did kill, I could have used this. But then I had Ogre's game 2, and now I'm back to Warriors of Chaos, and I'm like, you know what, fine, let's finally use this one. The leadership will be great because he's running Slanesh, so it'll be helpful in case I'm getting leadership bombed. But if I'm going to win this game, I gotta kill the Demon Prince, and that's just it. So Doom Wheels, Warp Lightning Cannon, Warp Lightnings from the Engineers, that's the plan. And my opponent uses card 1, which allows a single core unit or single character to make a Vanguard move, which is interesting because he's got a lot of characters, and I don't know what's going to happen. And this is the end of day 1, so it was a little foggy. We had a few drinks at this point, and I apologize. My pictures are super blurry this time around, and that's probably a result of the long day and the drinking. So, but I get Warp Lightning, Wither, Cloud of Corruption, and Blessed with Filth. Cloud of Corruption is going to be great in this game, and that's why I'm really glad I got it, because there's a lot of little chariots and individual heroes and stuff running around, so it should be very helpful. And also notice I only have 3 spells from my grace here because Warp Lightning is his 4th spell, so against Warriors of Chaos, I can't argue having 3 Warp Lightnings across the board, so I'll take it. My opponent gets Choir, the Crest of Lenif, Spirit Leech, and Doom and Darkness. Unfortunately, my opponent did not provide me with a list, so I'll have to just go with what I remember. From left to right, we have a Chimera. We've got 4 Skull Crushers, dogs, a brick of Trolls with Throg. Hooray, Throg. And then we've got the 3 units of chariots, and they're chilling out there. I forget what mark they are. We've got a hero on a steed of some sort, and that's like a caster or BSB, and then there's the Demon Prince, and then more dogs, a Hell Cannon, if you can make that out, and then another Chimera. To the left, you can actually see it's 2 models. One's the BSB, one's the level 2 caster of some sort. I don't know which one was which. And notice that the trolls have Vanguarded. So he used that ability to Vanguard the trolls because technically they're a core choice with Throg. And then the first error of the game is right here. I still have a Lucky Day card, which allows me to either make a 2d6 roll equal to 7, or I can nullify my opponent's special rule. And I should have used it here and just said, nope, no trolls Vanguarding. But I wasn't thinking, I guess. And here's my deployment. Looks like the same as last game, essentially. Doom Wheels all the way over to the left so he can zap up some Skull Crushers. And here's a close-up of those chariots and heroes. Not a super great paint job. I'm just noticing this now as I'm doing the battle report. The first 2 armies looked beautiful. This one, I guess, because I was inebriated enough to not realize that they're, alright, I guess. One is a corpse cart looking thing, though, the one in the middle. So Chaos picks up turn 1, which is, the good news is, at least the trolls can't charge. That's the only good news. So this Chimera moves up so that he's going to probably be closer when it comes time to do zap attacks. I'm not sure. The debate also was, do I use the Storm Banner or not? Yeah, I would have slowed down the Chimeras and Demon Prince to getting to me. They still move pretty quickly, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But if it went on into my turn and I was running the risk of not getting the cannon to shoot, the Warp Fire Thrower to shoot, and all that other shit, it would have been no good. I really need to take down that Demon Prince in the shooting phase, and that's just that. It would have also prevented the Hell Cannon from shooting on a 50% chance, and we'll see if that makes a difference or not. The trolls do march up full though. I'm a nice guy. He forgot to do that, so it was like right into the magic phase, like the middle of the magic phase, and he forgot to do it, and I was like, okay. Because like neither of us really realized it because they had vanguarded, but you know what? I gave it to him. What are you gonna do? And over here, just another angle. The monsters cav go through the forest, which is great. So they actually end up taking a wound, which I'm happy about. So he irresistibly casts Choir onto the Hell Pit and does a wound, I think. Not a big deal. I still have my regen, but it's at the cost of a wound to him, so I'll take it. And then into shooting. Yes, a Warriors of Chaos player with a shooting phase. The Hell Cannon goes ahead and takes a shot at the Bell. Scores a direct hit. Wounds the Gracier, wounds the Bell. The Bell passes its ward save. The Gracier does not. D6 multiple wounds. Kills the Gracier. So I start the game on my turn 1 with no general level 4 caster. So boo hiss on me, but And here's the moment I regret letting my opponent march up after the magic phase started, because Throg, surprise, has a breath weapon, which I forgot about. So he kills a whole bunch of guys. And I'll just give in turn 1. The Doom Wheel goes into the Chimera on the left. The Hell Pit goes ahead and charges the Trolls. I didn't know what to do here, because I could have shot at him. I could have impacted and done some damage in combat. I don't know. I was unable to charge because of the way my Warp Fire Thrower was set up in front of my Bell, because I wasn't anticipating him getting so closely after deployment, because he got that Vanguard and then that march all the way up. So the Warp Fire Thrower has to move, so he can't even fire at them this turn, and now the Bell unit will be able to charge in a future turn. The Hell Pit to the right makes a run at the Demon Prince, but moves like nothing. So he moved like 2 inches. But it doesn't matter, because my Warp Lightning Cannon, an eye for an eye, shoots down the Demon Prince. He fails his ward save, d6 multiple wounds. He already had a wound on him. Bam. Dead. Solid 500 points at least right off the bat. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. So we're going to play the entire game without generals or level 4 casters. What the hell? Why not? So apparently here the Hell Pit Abomination doesn't do as good as he probably could have. I guess I killed 1 troll. He combat reforms to expose his flank to the Bell unit, so he's banking on killing that Hell Pit next turn, which is very doable after this charge with 3 chariots and a hero. So yeah, that happens. Also failed to mention the Doom Wheel whiffs in the shooting phase, so he doesn't zap the Chimera, and the impact hits and all the other crap don't do enough, and we continue fighting off to the left flank. But yep, so I'm going to be fighting all these heroes and chariots here, along with the Skull Crushers charging the slaves. That I can give 2 shits about. So nothing happens in Magic because he's got a level 2 caster, and I don't care. And over here, the breath weapon goes ahead and kills some slaves. You know, big deal. And as anticipated here, we go ahead and kill the Hell Pit Abomination. And there's a token, and he does not come back to life. So he's dead. Dead, dead, dead. And here is blurry picture time. We go ahead and have that chariot overrun into the Bell unit, a chariot overrun into the Storm Vermin, and one of them, I guess, holds or couldn't overrun because there was another chariot in his way or something. And, blurry picture, but you can witness my opponent pulling off a Skull Crusher from a slave, wounding it and killing it. Yeah. Go slaves. So the slaves pop, doing an additional wound to one of the remaining Skull Crushers with its D3 plus like 6 attacks that it had, and they overrun here and just miss the Warp Fire Thrower, so I'm happy about that. And the trolls, you can see, have reformed. They had to change their alignment in ranks because they couldn't have reformed with the hero there, staying in the current rank formation, so he's got some guys hanging out in a 3rd rank. So it's my turn 2. This is a very upsetting turn. You will see why. But my Hell Pit goes ahead and charges the chariot, and he's lined up for an overrun into the 2nd chariot, so we'll do those combats in the correct order. And the Doom Wheel over to the left is actually dead. The Chimera killed him. In Magic, I do some zaps with Warp Lightning and kill a few guys here, along with the Warp Fire Thrower doing a few wounds on these guys too. And here's the upsetting part. I lose like a rank of Storm Vermin, which is nasty. That's what happens with Chaos Chariots. But when the Hell Pit goes in and strikes, he destroys it. And he overruns 4 inches. I rolled a 1, a 1, and a 2. He needed 5 inches. He rolled 4 inches. So he decides to just barely miss that chariot overhead here. You get this overhead shot. And that sucks, because I was kind of hoping to get some impact hits on him and maybe actually win this combat and kill that chariot, because at this moment I cannot make way the Lord on Bonebreaker because I have an Engineer and a BSB on the right side of the unit, so he can't move over there and fight, which really sucks. Over here, it looks like we already move on into Warriors of Chaos turn 3, and he charges the Lightning Cannon. Over here we've got a Chimera charging Slaves. And over here we finally have a clear picture again. So it's just a cluster of combats. The trolls do make it into the Bell unit, so I don't get a charge on them, so I don't get my impact hits, which I'm so sad about. But I'm a little nervous that Throg is going to be fighting the Bell here, because he can bring that down real quickly with his like strength 7 or 8 or whatever the hell he has. I don't know what happened here, but they fail a panic test and turn around and run. I don't know what it was from. It might have been the Hell Cannon, maybe getting a hit, and then maybe going ahead and issuing a panic test at -1 leadership. It could have been that. I mean, right now they're at leadership 8 with a reroll, but they'd be at 7 with a reroll, and I guess they fail and run. Yeah. The Chimera just rips into the Slaves over here. I removed the cannon from the board. We don't even roll this up, and these guys will be back on his next turn. Oh, and we're on to Skaven turn 3 here. The Gutter Runners finally show up, in which reminds me about the objective. It's kill like your opponent's like least expensive units, like the 3 most least expensive units. So you can see that there's dogs chilling out here. I'm not sure why they're conga lining. I'm not at all. But my Gutter Runners are just going to come here and shoot them and kill them for some points. Because I think it's a couple hundred points if you kill all those units. Nothing going on in Magic. The Warp Fire Thrower decides that instead of turning around and shooting the Chimera and killing it with flaming attacks, it was a better idea just to blow up. So there was they made that decision on their own. And then this combat's going on. This must have happened last turn. I didn't mention it, but since I was unable to get into the combat against the chariot there to the left, I got charged by more heroes and chariots. So I gotta just kill some freaking chariots. That's what I gotta do. That's definitely what I gotta do. Again, sorry about the blurry ass pictures. The Hell Pit does die to those heroes and the chariot. And there's still a grind over here with the Chimera and the Slaves. They end up rolling a leadership test and passing. That's a huge surprise. They got like a leadership 5. Over here, this guy must have charged in and got killed by the Bonebreaker Lord, I'm assuming. The rest of the game is kind of a blur, both my memory and the fact that the pictures came out really blurry. But here's an overall shot of those heroes and chariot guys just kind of killing the storm vermin, I guess, and the slaves are still somehow alive. And over here, a Scorch gets off in my magic phase, so I'm actually able to kill this chariot finally. The Bonebreaker Lord is now over here. He had to keep making way somehow because he kept fighting his way out of combat. And now he's over here so he can finally kill the chariot, so the chariot's dead. We finally kill all the slaves over here. And everything goes and kills the Bell unit, or tries to kill the Bell unit. So we're still, slowly killing trolls. I don't know why I'm not killing more trolls quicker. I don't get it. Even with flaming attacks, it took forever to kill the trolls. Here's the dead pile. Again, a blur, but just shit everywhere. And here's the last picture. It's terrible, but the bell finally dies, the Bonebreaker guy breaks, and yeah, so I end up somehow, I don't have a picture of the score sheets because it was just kind of like, alright, let's go home. I ended up walking away with more points than I thought I was going to. Like, because of the objectives, because I got my 500 point objective for killing his general, and then I killed all of his units of dogs, which were worth like an extra 100 points each because of the scenario. I'm sorry, actually it was an extra 150 points each, so there were 2 dog units that I killed. They're usually 30 points each or so that's 60 points, plus another 300 for killing them with the Gutter Runners, which is great. The third smallest unit was a chariot. So I got the chariot's points and then the extra 150 points. Just looking at the scenario here, for each of your core units above half strength, so I didn't get any points for that. Additional 150 points for your opponent's 3 smallest units, blah blah blah. And 50 victory points if you offer to buy your opponent a tasty beverage, which is cool. So all in all, it was an interesting game. We played without generals or casters. I ended up walking away with, I think it was like 2,300 points, which doesn't make any sense to me, but it was the objectives. So, and I mean, Demon Princes are always worth tons of points, so that was easy points right off the bat. The Hell Cannon, I believe, blew up at the end of the game, or I was able to kill it with poison slings, something like that. So I was able to scoop up the 200 points from that. But it was a fun, interesting game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't really enjoy that game too much. Really, I think I lost not because of the general dying, because the help hits performed so terribly. So terribly. I wasn't getting hit by flaming attacks. It's just they rolled shitty. They were fighting like chariots and heroes, which are easy for them to kill. High strength attacks, lots of attacks. Or I do the everyone at base contact, this D3 multiple wounds shit. No, it just they did not work. And when I had to roll a 5 to get into combat, I rolled a 4. If I had rolled that 5 early in the game and got him in and had him run 2 rounds of combat and impact hits, I probably would have won actually. But that's all hindsight. So game 4 coming up soon. It'll be against Empire. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.